Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to you, wherever you are, whatever time it is when you listen to this. Welcome to my fifth degree page. I'm fifth degree, but you could call me fifth, or to my light work ain't light work page, right? On YouTube. Alright, so ultimately okay. This is gonna be a future reading for the future as a timeline, not as a person. It's a future reading. Okay? Okay. So, I'm going to just go ahead and get into it. This shouldn't take too long, y'all, right? We got Ten of Wands reversed, the relief of burdens. Coming from the Murder of Crows. So, the relief of burdens that will come into place. The supernatural initiations that comes into place with some things. I know somebody is going to interpret this as needed to burn 10 fucking candles. Yeah. So I'm going to just go ahead and say it in regards to relieving the burden of the lover. Oh, okay. Alright. So this is going to be interesting. Alright, so within the whole asking of assistance, right? Asking for assistance, asking for help, shifting one's stability in the emotional, not in the emotional, in the spiritual. It must be emotional. I bless myself. But ultimately, the relieving of the burden for a lover and the transformation of one not being heartbroken and their inheritance. What it is that they stand to inherit. One of the things I'm going to go ahead and say, because I noticed that this came out in a different one, you guys need to really pay attention to what this lover's portion is, because it's three things going on. Three things going on in this lover's card. Not only is it about doing what you feel, right? Not only is it about the balancing of the masculine and the feminine, but the last thing is about that a lot of people, for whatever reason, always seem to forget to acknowledge is that there is a spirit that is commonplace for the two individuals or the different parts involved. Okay, whether this is the angelic aspect or whatever what have you. Okay, and then there being an end to the heartbreak. Now, some of this stuff is gonna be in regards to the air, AIR, that will be surrounding communication. The other portion is going to be in regards to Pluto aspect. Alright, so it's that part. But ultimately with and Scorpio. And the irony that comes into place with Scorpio essence is it's always acknowledged that it goes from the scorpion to the snake to an eagle or to a dragon or to a dove, but it does not ever go into the crow/raven. So do with that what you feel or what you will. Yeah, because in this whole spiritual contract aspect, it'll be about whether or not you acknowledge an actual spiritual contract or a physical contract. So it's that portion. And within one not being heartbroken about the inheritance. Yeah, what it is they would have got, what you get out of it. So relieving the burdens and what you would get out of it. Within the asking for assistance or being of assistance. Or is there anything else? Not that I'll be finna see. This is gonna be interesting. God, this is gonna be so fucking interesting. Alright, oh, all these cards are turned the right way. Okay, so within the relief of the burden, one not journeying, one not traveling. And then the other portion of as the influence of one being not being heartbroken in regards to having a great fortune in marriage. Marriage or in a commitment. How a commitment when required for a person to journey. Yeah, to do a whole bunch of journey shit. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Yeah, in regards to the whole marriage aspect as it's pertaining to this, it's the relieving of the Bernie, Bernie. Uncle Bernie. Hey, Uncle Bernie. Bernie. Yo! Okay, so some of this is going to waiting to exhale. What it is that would have taken place with waiting to exhale. Everybody always wants to talk about in the love and romance and relieving of the burden. Great portion. Bernadine was married. She put all her all into it, and he ended up leaving her. He ended up leaving her, heartbroken and everything. She was so much in it. She was still in love with him, and actually had what constitutes as righteous anger. And a lot of you motherfuckers don't like when a person has the right to be mad at you. Ear chakras. Notice messages that appear as sounds, music. Oh my goodness. I am so not used to having any type of allergic reaction. I haven't had allergic reactions in so very long. Oh my goodness. Yes, this shit is completely new and different for me, y'all. Okay, so notice messages. Yeah, and within a person being cold. Cold and chilly. Yo, okay, so it's two different situations. Chilly, the situation that happened with Chilly and Usher and him having all these confessions, she was all into him. He fucked around and got somebody else pregnant and ended up getting married to somebody else. But everybody, how other people will be really invested in a particular relationship. That's part one. Part two, back to the whole situation with Bernadine. Bernadine was committed, loyal, had kids, did everything that was required of her as a wife. Yeah, some of the shit it is that could have profited had that been a situation, or had she had followed any intuitive hunches that she went into. Yeah, because waiting to exhale would have been a hell of a lot different if people would have been openly talking about postnuptial agreements. A lot of people always talk about the prenuptial agreement. Let's talk about the postnuptial agreement. In the whole postnuptial agreement aspect, had she, once she noticed that John ass was out fucking with his secretary, had she implemented a postnuptial agreement on that ass, that would have cut all that shit out. It would have. I'm just saying. It would have cut the shit out. You know why? Because he wouldn't want to lose all his goddamn money. Just because he wanted to put his dick somewhere else. It wasn't even an emotional situation that was going on with it. You can tell that it wasn't an emotion. He literally just got tired of fucking the same pussy. You know that based off of the 732 that she keeps talking about in that damn movie. The whole 730, the number of times we made love. If you can count how many times it is that you made love with a motherfucker, you had sex with him, fucked him, whatever, what have you, then that motherfucker wasn't really all that invested emotionally. Because I'm pretty sure he wasn't counting when he started dealing with his secretary. I'm just saying. So it's that part. Earth Angel, you are a light worker who has come to Earth to teach about love and ear chakras. Notice messages that appear as sounds, music, and words from both external sources and within your mind. These messages are real answers to your prayers. Throat chakra, the angels are helping you lovingly speak your truth. That's what's going on in regards to the angelic aspect and the ear aspect. Some of the angels that would be associated with that would be the angel for Gemini and the angel for Taurus. Most certainly those two. I think I know how I'm gonna label these. In any event, though. Alright. And now, yeah, marriage, coffin. Oh, okay. Marriage, coffin, and unexpected income. Ensure how marriage would put an end to unexpected income or a commitment being put in a coffin for, yeah, tabling it and what it is to put something on the table. To put everything on the table. And how whenever the wind blows, now, because some of it will be about like moodiness and shit like that. However, whenever the wind blows, it would take away the journey and just relieve the burden. Some of that I'm going to go ahead and say is, yeah, sometimes you can't say that a person is being moody. You really, really can't. You can't say that a person is being moody, y'all, because you don't like that you may have put them in a particular mindset. But that's a part of marriage and shit. So from what I gather, I personally wouldn't know. I haven't been. So yeah, that'd be the other reason why I don't do love readings, y'all. I ain't never been married. I done been a part in commitments, but for the most part, motherfuckers who've been married, they act like you can't say nothing because you're not even married. Yeah, bitch. Well, you are, and you're not happy. Or you have been, and you didn't make sure that you stayed happy in it. So I don't know. I don't know what none of it is in regards to some stuff. And some people just like the idea of marriage or certain journeys and not being on a journey in regards to and not being on a journey to marriage. And sure, marriage ain't what the end result of it is. You shouldn't want a person to want you to think about marriage to end this up. Yeah. Ultimately, what it boils down to is that it's a lot of stuff for you to have to examine and explore. And it requires open 3D conversations, y'all. Talk to people in real life. Stop doing fucking magic and shit. Yeah, even in the spiritual aspect, because if you're praying for it stuff, if you're praying for certain things and you're not ready to receive it, or even do the work to maintain it, you really shouldn't pray for it. You really shouldn't. Because what it's giving is, I prayed for this, but I didn't want it. And then you get it, and then it shows that you wouldn't have wanted it. That's happened before with an Aquarius. Or go ahead and say what you have to. Yeah, a person wanted the commitment just so that they could get the unexpected income that the person would provide. That's something that typically happens when you deal with with us magical people, right? We're dealing with the magical people. Or those of us who know how to really take care of some stuff without, I heard usurpers, okay? Yeah, without having to be like that. And because some of the other portion of it is, how a person would bind a person in marriage through that damn statue shit that y'all be doing on the magical portion. Y'all word. But the future aspect of it would be the influence of whether or not a person would have the finances necessary in order for it to be an enjoyable marriage. And if those discussions haven't been had in 3D and held in 3D, you can't speculate what that person will want. So ultimately in the future aspect, just as it looks now, please have the conversations that you all need to, okay? Hopefully it helps you guys out just a little bit, gave you a tad bit of an inclination as to a few different things that could be going on or coming up in the future, right? So that you can prepare yourselves, know exactly what would be expected, all right? Because see, remember, light work, it ain't light work. I just heard marriage is a business. You could say marriage is you know what? Marriage is a business. And what marriage really tells is whether or not you're really good in business or not. Or if you're a shady business practice. If you have shady business practices. That'd be the reason why most motherfuckers don't want to get married. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to go and say it. But hopefully it helps you guys out just a little bit. Gave you a tad bit of an inclination as to a few different things it is that will be going on. If you like to schedule your own paying appointment, you are more than welcome to do so at lightworkaintlightworkllc@gmail.com. Alright, because see, remember, light work, it ain't light work. It is not light work. It's not light work. And that's why you have to stay light while you work